Hello everybody, welcome back to Whimsicraft. Today I'm starting in the industrial district. We always pop back here every now and again to see how things are going. And it's actually the super smelter that's had a little bit of an update. There's some random, disgusting, horrible, evil, terrible redstone that I hate at the bottom here, and some updates around here. And finally this farm has been expanded. I genuinely hate this build, and if I could rebuild it, I would, but I genuinely don't know how to make this not the most terrible thing I've ever created. Anyway, let's actually do something productive. So we'll go back to the mega base area, where we are going to be doing some really cool things. So if I do a quick bit of a zoom out, you can see that this area looks rather blank, and I had a plan to put in a bit of a fence, and then maybe some trees and stuff. And I also had a plan a very long time ago to add something really cool behind here. And today we're going to tackle that in particular. It's a very fun idea which I had, that this mine is very obviously cutting into the natural landscape of the forest and the old wizard tower. So I wonder if there might be someone who doesn't really like that this is happening. Perhaps a protest. So we're going to use armor stands to build some people being all angry. Thought it might be quite a fun thing to do, and yeah. So I think we will start with that. Just doing a bit of armor stand work. Won't require a time lapse, but should look pretty cool. All right, let's go. Alrighty, everybody. I have created a thing and a problem. Hope you can see what it is. Basically, if I fly out, you can see that these guys are basically invisible, pressed up against the trees, and yeah, kind of a bit rubbish. So let's fix that. But we need to fix it in two different ways. The first way is we need to give these guys a little bit more space. We need to push them back so that you can see them clearly. The other thing that we need to do is we need to have a reason for these guys to be standing here in particular. And I think the way I'm going to do that is a nice big fence on the new land that I'm going to build. But that also comes with another issue. It's like, if there's a fence all the way along here, why did they choose here? But I think I've got a solution for that. If I have a few little groups, maybe one over here, one over here, one over here, it would make more sense. Like they're, oh, we're going to be over here, grrr, and we're going to be over here, grrr, And I think that'll work better. So these guys have come out pretty well, but they just need moving. And I guess I'll do a nice little time lapse, and hopefully it's a cool time lapse for you guys, because I've now got flashback instead of replay mod, which basically means the time lapses should be better. Alright, I guess I'll do a bit of terraforming, and I'll be back to build a fence. Let's go. And success, everybody. This actually took me a little bit longer than I thought it would, but it was basically just to do with the fact that I was working underwater. It really wasn't that tricky of a terraform to do, but it's come out pretty well. We, of course, have made this river narrower once again, but I think it's okay. At some point, this terraforming around here will be improved. Me, Laurie, and Will are all gonna work together to make this look good, but we'll leave it for now. Now, of course, the next stage is to push these guys back. Ooh, that was painful. Jeez, I'm not sure why I didn't expect that going over here, right click and then scroll like this would be so painful, but it was horrendous. Anyway, they're done, and they look like a more realistic distance away from the forest, so that's perfect. The next thing is to trap them behind a fence. And I think for this, I want to hop across to creative real quick, because I do really like the fence design that we've got over here. But it's a little bit too detailed, if you know what I mean. Like, it feels built like it's supposed to be trying to be nice, whereas just a random fence around the edge of a compound isn't going to be as nice as a proper fence over here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to, I guess, go across to creative and design something. And once I've designed something, I'll be back to show you what it looks like. Alright, let's go. Alrighty, everybody, a design has been created. First, let's talk about the original design. This original design I wanted to feel very sturdy. This design over here, you can see is a much more flimsy, basic design, and the point of this is that it's going to be around pretty much the entire perimeter of the base. Like, that is way too much to have like copper trapdoors and, you know, slabs. Too much. So we go for a simpler design. But that also means I've dragged you into Creative World for what is essentially 4 blocks. Yeah. I guess we'll go and build it in the world. I'll build a small section, show you how it looks, and then I'll shove it all in there once I'm done. Alright, let's go and do that. Okay, everybody, instead of doing a section of fence, I've decided to just lay out exactly where I want the fence to go. And it's easier to do that when I'm zoomed out. So you can see I've just got a lovely curve of fence that feels fairly organic, like it's following the shape of the forest, but still fairly just thrown there, I guess. And yes, our protesters are right up against the fence. I actually had to use a piston to push this right into here because its armor stand was in the way of placing this this iron bar in. But yeah, I guess we'll build up the rest of the fence now. I'm very happy with how this looks. Now over here, where this connects to here, just gonna wing it, I guess. And obviously all the floor underneath this iron bar will need to be converted into slabs. But yeah, should look pretty great. So I guess I'll just do another time lapse. It'll be a super quick one, just like zoop, and then we'll be done. Alright, let's go and do that. Okay, everybody, we have a fence, and yeah, something I didn't mention was the construction of the pillars. And during the time lapse, I actually just fully did them off vibes, and it appears to have worked fairly well. They're like not really evenly spread, but spread enough so that it feels like they make sense, but it also feels like fairly organic, like it was just thrown together, which is of course what we are aiming for. Over here there is a little hole in the fence, and that is because I've had a fun idea to maybe try and have an armor stand crawling through the like hole, and it would have to be a bunch of individual armor stands because of the way that the armor stands work. You can't just lie down an armor stand, you have to like make the body flat and then have a second one with the flat legs, and it's a bit of a pain, but it is possible, so I think I might try and do that. And then finally, I want one more group of protesters right over here on this fence. And then the protesters will be done, which is very, very cool. So yeah, I guess I'll be back once I've finished doing those armor stands. After that, we're going to decorate this, which should be quite fun. Alright, let's go. Somebody left a present in my base. Why is there a bouncing, floating sheep? This is the wonders of living inside Whimsicraft. Anyway, I built some more protesters. So these are the original guys, plus a cool little name tag, which Tram added. And over here we've got some new guys. As I mentioned before, Tram, a huge help with these, which is much appreciated. And yes, we also included Will. And if I go through here, and Laurie. So there was a funny photo that was put on our private Discord of them posing next to them, so I thought it would be funny to include them. And yep, this one's got a little name tag too and a little sign. And then if we run over here, the final group are over here. They're not yelling anything because they're a little bit closer to the action, and name tags are a little bit obtrusive if you're too close to them, so I want to try and not use too many. But yeah, I like the green banner. Annoyingly, the green banner is actually a different armor stand because doing this with the hand is not possible on a single arm stand, but overall these guys look really, really cool. Nice. I guess we've got something cool to move on to, and it's actually a little thing that I want to talk about, which I'm organising. The whole server's awesome event, but I think we need a change of setting to talk about it, so let's go. So this is a really, really nice shop built by Proportions, and it actually sells furnace fuel, which I actually didn't know about 2 seconds ago, but the most important thing is going down here. This, as you might be able to guess, is a checkers or chessboard, And I thought it would be really cool to set up a little bit of a chess tournament. Now you might be wondering, what about the chess pieces? Well, they're actually in here. Inside these bundles are little models of chess pieces, and there are also some placed down. Sadly, the resource pack is broken and you can't see them. However, that will come to a lovely reveal once the event actually begins. And basically what we can do is move these chess pieces around in real time and play chess inside Minecraft. It's really cool, but of course it requires organization. So over the next few weeks I'll be doing organization, and hopefully some chess games will begin. Obviously I won't be showing full games because they take a while, but I'll be keeping you updated with the scores, and it should be a really fun long-term thing. Alright, let's move on to the next thing that's actually, like, you know, related to my mega base and all of that stuff, not just some random event that I've decided to do. Alright, let's go. Also, this place is so simple, but with shaders it's just so cool with the lighting. I don't know, I like it. Let's go. For the first time in almost 3 update cycles, I've updated my shaders. I've moved from complementary to complementary unbound, and damn, it looks really good. I don't know why I never decided to switch before, but I'm really liking how it's looking. I've actually decided to do something cool with the videos and streams now, so in my videos I will be using complementary max, which is my custom settings that I'm using currently. But I've also created something called complementary standard, which is basically going to be a more like lower level, less like ridiculous shader pack for usage during streams and stuff like that. So that should be nice and just make things prettier. But of course, the real reason we're over here is that I just did some simple decoration. With shaders, of course, it makes everything look beautiful, but the point of this was simply to kind of gradient out the stuff from behind the fence and kind of make this area feel a little bit more complete, which I think we have succeeded in doing. This of course means that our next task is to actually move over here, kind of try and wiggle this fence around this bit of land, maybe loop it around here, and prepare ourselves for trees and that. I don't know, this area needs something. But obviously the fence kind of needs to come around here and link up with the shipyard compound over here, so that we have like a complete barrier. So I guess that's what we've got to do next. And yeah, should be fairly simple. Got to get even more iron bars though, which is terrible. But yeah, be good. Alright, let's add more to this fence. And we have even more fence, everybody. Went for a similar tactic with the whole just kind of shove the andesite in via vibes, and it seems to have once again worked fairly well, which I'm very happy about. For now, the fence actually ends just over by the ravine because I can't be bothered to do it any further than that because terraforming is boring, and I've actually got something far more interesting to kind of show you guys, talk about. So you know how earlier I mentioned the chess tournament-y thing? Well, that has moved along slightly since the clip that I recorded about it, and we are actually approaching potentially being able to maybe start a couple of games, maybe. But of course that requires, you know, some infrastructure. Specifically, we need a clock system. For those who are unfamiliar with chess, when you play proper games, when you're not just playing with like your brother, you need to time yourself so that you know, the game doesn't last 4 hours. You know, like when your friend's sitting there like, for like 4 years, and it's like, bro, just make a move. We need to have a timing system to prevent stuff like that. And what we're going to do is basically we're going to hop into the creative world, design a little timing system, pretty similar to one that I've designed before, but ever so slightly different. And then we're just going to build it over by the chessboard, and then it should be working nicely. And once the resource pack has been fixed, then the games can begin, because yeah, the chess pieces still don't exist. Should be getting fixed soon. Should be, hopefully. Anyway, let's go and do some redstone. Oh, the sky, bro, the sky looks so good in this shader pack. Anyway, sorry, I'm still playing with the settings and making everything beautiful. Oh my god. Okay, let's go and like do some actual redstone. Let's go. Alrighty, everybody. This looks pretty cool, doesn't it? This is a very basic chess clock, where essentially we can fill up these chests with a certain amount of iron nuggets, toggle on the start lever, and then the time will start running out. And then when you flick the lever, the other person's time starts running out. Very, very simple, very, very cool. And then these lights will switch on once someone loses. There's also some things so that people can hear when the game has ended due to time. It's actually a super, super simple system. Everything about this is basically as simple as it can possibly be because I want it to be a complete failsafe. I don't want any problems if you flick the levers or do anything annoying with it. It's all fine. And that's what we have here. The only thing that this doesn't do is it doesn't do something called bonus time. For those who are familiar with chess, you will know that if in some time controls, every time someone makes a move, you want to give the person who just made a move a little bit of extra time. That's something that's pretty common with very fast chess, but as you can see by the amount of iron nuggets in here, we're going to be playing 15-minute games, 15 minutes for each side, which basically means that bonus time isn't really a thing, so we're all good. What I'm going to do now is make a schematic of this, and we're going to build it right into the chess area. It should be nice and simple. Hopefully these signs are descriptive enough for those who are pretty unfamiliar with it, but basically the stacks run in and then you move them back up to the top once the game ends. Should be nice and easy for everybody. It also doesn't look too horrendously terrible, so I think we are good. Alright, let's go and build this inside Whimsicraft. Alrighty everybody, this is what it looks like in place. Actually really happy with how this has turned out. It's not too big or obtrusive, but it certainly has a nice prominent position, and it means that whoever's on this side has a slight advantage with hitting the lever. But towards the end of the game where the time really matters, there'll be pieces all over the board, so I don't think it's a massive concern. I can always move it if it seems to be annoying, but yeah, very cool. Or maybe anyone can flick the lever, who knows. Maybe even an arbiter or some other person, I'm not sure. Either way, this looks pretty great, which means that we are free to hop back to my base one last time. I didn't know this. I didn't know there were numbers and letters on the top. Oh, I don't know how I've never seen that before. Anyway, let's hop back to my base for one final time to kind of finish a little thing that I was doing before. Okay, everybody, as you can see, I've actually been able to do this terraforming. When I say been able, it wasn't exactly challenging, I just could be bothered. Yeah, it was a pretty basic terraforming job. I just kind of made the land look more natural and also flattened out this area. So I've got plenty of space for my shipyard. The thing that I actually wanted to talk about in this final segment is trees. So I really like birch trees, as you can see if I can learn the ability to fly. If we look over here, you can see that I actually build with birch quite a lot, especially like this. And Will, who lives over here, also builds with birch trees, which is very, very nice. So it means that we have a cool transitionary tree that we kind of place between our bases to integrate. However, his birch trees look very different to mine. So that's going to be a fun little challenge for me to do at the beginning of next episode. What my plan is to have a lovely satisfying time lapse of me just kind of putting the first few trees behind this fence, because of course, as I mentioned before, I want to make sure that the trees are kind of blocking the view from some places, and some areas are more visible. I think this area is cool to stay visible, as will the shipyard. Now there isn't really space for trees, but over here there definitely is. So yeah, that is pretty cool, I would say. But that also means that it is indeed the end of the video. Next week I am hoping to build some trees and also do even more terraforming around here. For example, adding bits of grass and ferns along here and kind of keeping the detailing going. And there's a chance that some chess may begin, which will be very exciting. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you like the video, subscribe, all that fantastic stuff, and you hit the notification bell. You'll be able to see the cool time lapse of me building some trees next week. Alrighty, people. Appreciate you watching the video, and see you next time. Bye, everybody.